Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. I'm so excited to deepen into this conversation with you today, into this transmission with you. It is open your oracle and trust your spiritual gifts. I feel so called to speak on this topic. I feel so excited. I know I say every single time that I'm excited and grateful to share with you, and it's because it's true. I am excited and grateful. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you listen and that, if this podcast if this podcast helps you, supports you, loves you, nourishes you, like it's a gift. And today's episode really was born out of a deep download I received in Sacred Saturday and what came to me, and just really emboldening you into the oracle that is you. And I'm going to get into what that means, what that's about. If you're here in this community, I know that you are spiritual in some sense. I know that you are really committed and excited to birthing your contribution to a world we're proud of. And it really does come down to the oracle. The oracle is you. You are the oracle. And this episode, this transmission is all about how to access your oracle, open your oracle, and trust your spiritual gifts. So before I fully dive in, it feels like the transmission is open. Let us call upon the altar. The altar is thank you in advance to spirit. The altar is the ceremony that makes this way more than a podcast, but a straight up transmission. So on the altar, I have so many feathers. I'm holding, if you're watching on YouTube, I was blessed with so many feathers. We have turkey feathers and pheasant feathers. I was blessed with so many feathers on my walks in the forest recently, and feathers are a deep blessing from spirit. They show up when you're on your right path. They show up when you need a sign, and they're very, very tied to my shamanism. And the land that I'm living on right now in Michigan in the United States is the land I was raised on. It is the Potawatomi land. And in my shamanism, I have so much lineage with the Potawatomi people and this land. And it's been a really big part of me coming back here. And these feathers showed up literally on my path when I was walking. And I knelt down to the earth and I said, thank you. Thank you to my guides. Thank you to spirit. Thank you to Mother Earth. And so this is your sign that you are on your right path. The feathers are here for me. They're here for you. They're here for all of us. We're in a challenging time. We're in an intense time. We're in a time where there is a lot, a lot, a lot. And I also just saw a hawk out my window. That was pretty crazy. Oh, wow. Um, there's a lot being exposed. There's a lot ratcheting up. There is, at the time of this recording, there's just a lot politically going on. There's just a lot in the world. And sometimes you can question your path when things get hard, when things get challenging. And so to have these feathers on the altar is just a huge blessing and a gift. So you are right on time. You are right on time. I have all of the rose quartz here for unconditional love. I have all of the blue agate crystals that I own on the altar for the throat chakra of you, of me, of the whole world, for truth, for truth, for truth. There's a major throat chakra activation going on in the planet, and it's very tied to the divine feminine. That's been something I've been moving through in my process. And also on the altar, we have an unscented white candle burning blessing, healing the space, calling in all ancestors and guides to hold us in the cocoon that is this transformation. The final step of our altar is our 3 deep breaths together, connecting our minds, bodies, and spirits to receive these codes. So no matter what you're doing, whether you're walking, driving, dancing, sitting, squatting, kneeling, in motion or stationary, we're always in motion. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. And shake out your arms. Shake out anything you've been holding, any stagnant energy. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Open up your throat with blue light. Inhale through your nose. This time, hold it at the top and let the indigo violet light come over your crown chakra and drop over your body. Showering you with the magic of the universe and the magic that this episode has for you. Exhale out the mouth. Okay, beautiful soul. We are here. The portal is open. Let's dive in. Open your oracle and trust your spiritual gifts. So this episode was born out of an experience I had on Sacred Saturday. So if you are new to me and my world, Sacred Saturday is my weekly digital detox where I take at least 24 hours off of social media and most technology. So this is something that I started in 2019. It has turned out to be one of the most important things I have done in my life ever. I did this before I started my first business. I did this before I started, using social media to share on my business and my gifts and connect with people that I'm meant to serve. And it keeps me so tapped into spirit. And this is what this episode is born out of, was everything that happened in this Sacred Saturday. I had very, very, very visceral. First of all, I had a lot of visceral anger and grief come up in my body. And it just has a lot to do with the way the earth is being treated, the way that people are behaving, the way that humanity is going through a major evolution right now. Like, these are fated times. These are intense times. You came back, you incarnated right here, right now, because you are here with a divine purpose. You are here with a divine assignment. You and I would not be speaking, connecting, vibing, on this frequency together if not. You would not be listening to a podcast called A Better World if you did not have something really, really important to do, to be, to have, to create for a better world. And it's really that I had a lot of grief come up. I had a lot of anger come up, and I was literally sobbing on Mother Earth with my cheek on the grass. And I had all of these flashes. I had all of these downloads. I had all of these connections to me and my womb come through. I had all of these visions of me in Egypt. I had this deep communion with the goddess Hathor, which is the goddess of women, and she's all about the truth. She's very connected to the color blue, which is associated with the throat chakra. And my oracle was just blasted open to a whole new aperture. And so when I say the word aperture, an aperture is an opening. And this is like very specific for what I've done a lot in this lifetime already as a musician. Is I played French horn, I played a wind instrument, right? So Now I facilitate breath work with a lot of my clients, and that's a big part of my shamanism. And also breath and life force has always been part of my healing, my own personal healing, and the way that I heal on the planet, because I used to use my breath, blow into an instrument and create sound and create magic and create the music. So the aperture would be, if you're describing the opening of your mouth as it meets the instrument. And so, wow, that's really amazing. I didn't expect to say that, but that's really, really true. And it's everything of what the oracle is. Okay, because life force is literally the life force. It's literally spirit. And the aperture is the opening. It is the threshold. And the instrument is you. You are the one that takes the messages, the life force, and you make it into something real, into something tangible, into something magical, into something that you can't explain, something that you can't see, but you can feel, right? And so this podcast, this episode, last weekend, I had this whole initiation where my oracle was opened even deeper. And it came through way of purging, because a really big thing that happens in shamanism, and just anyone who is opening up their spiritual gifts, is like when you enter a new layer of your spiritual gifts, you will be called to purge. And it can come a lot in physical sickness. It can come a lot in emotions and just purging the emotions. So, because you must let go and viscerally release of the old ways for the new ways to fully come online, right? So we had this opening of the oracle. I had this opening of the oracle, and it was very deep. It was very, honestly, it was like earth shaking, life shaking, ground shaking. And I realized, and I got this download as I'm seeing all these things about Egypt, and I'm meeting the goddess Hathor and all of this. I'm literally just laying on the grass, like to the untrained eye, to someone who's just witnessing me in my life, to someone who's, doesn't function in these realms, to someone who operates in linear thought. They would just see me laying on the ground and they wouldn't think anything's happening. But meanwhile, I'm having this total purge and total activation and opening of my oracle. And what I saw and what I wanted to share with everyone here in this community is that you have an oracle. You are the oracle. Okay. And this is about the feminine frequency rising. This isn't about your gender. This is about the feminine essence that is the source of all creation, that is the oracle. So this episode, as my own oracle was opened and I have a bigger aperture, bigger access, I am called to share with you that you are an oracle. You have an oracle, and you are a divine channel for something bigger than you. And one of the most important things you can do in this life is to open this channel, access this channel, make sure it's a clear, clean connection with this channel, and use it as a purpose for something greater than you. Become the instrument that spirit gets to work through. Okay, that's what being an oracle is. So I looked up what an oracle is. And a lot of people, we have oracle decks. And what do we do when we're going to an oracle deck? Well, we're asking for a sign, we're asking for a message, we're asking for guidance, right? It's really about guidance. And so an oracle is a priest or priestess acting as a medium. Okay, a medium is someone who is when you're channeling between the 5D, the unseen, the quantum, the mystical realm, and the 3D, the physical, right? So acting as a medium whom advice, prophecy, or guidance is sought. So when we bring this back to Egypt, which is where my greatest visions came through from in this big opening, people went to oracles, priests and priestesses, to get guidance for prophecy, for advice. And what's prophecy? Prophecy is just saying like, hey, like this is what I see is going to happen, right? This is called intuition now, okay? Another definition I found of an oracle is it's a response, a message, an authority, and a guide. All right. So all of this, you are the priestess, you are the priest, you are the oracle, you are the medium, you have the advice, you have the guidance, you have the response, you have the message, and it's all living within you. Okay. So my work as a mentor, as a breathwork facilitator, as an astrologer, as a guide, as a leader for New Earth is literally to help you access your own oracle. Help you access your own oracle, your own connection to being the channel of spirit. Okay? To accessing your true self and to accessing spirit. All right? So you are the oracle. You are the oracle, and it's your job to open your oracle, open your gifts, and to trust your spiritual gifts. So it's one thing to be open to them, right? It's a whole other thing to trust them, like to trust the messages that you see, that you receive, that you feel, that you know, that you see, that you taste, that you hear, depending on what the way that spirit speaks to you, which I believe that the more you open up your gifts and trust them and the more you hone them, it can come in all these different ways, but you could see things, you could know things, you could sense things. All right. You could hear things. I hear voices. Like I hear a voice say things all the time. So the biggest message to first and foremost lead this transmission is you are the oracle. You are a channel for spirit. You are an instrument for the universe. And you came here to be a grounding place for miracles. Your biggest job is to be the real you and tap into this connection with the universe and make magic with it again and again and again and again and again. And with me and my shamanism, my shaman name is White Earth Star. I am a bridge between earth and stars. So a lot of my work here, I get a lot of my downloads and codes through Mother Earth, and I get a lot of them through the stars. Okay. It's no accident that I was literally crying in a visceral, somatic purge release with my face literally on Mother Earth when all of these things came through. It's no accident, right? There are access points that I go to that I honestly, when you get to a certain point in your relationship with your oracle, which is your intuition, your spiritual gifts, your spiritual path, you will get to a place where you simply cannot ignore what's going on, and it becomes very, very visceral. It's not a mind thing. The mind will block you from your oracle. The mind will try and make sense, will try and make it linear, will try and make it quote unquote safe. The mind is here to mitigate risk, right? And so remember, the subconscious mind is only concerned with your safety. The thing about the oracle is it's mysterious. It's the feminine. It's the feminine before the patriarchy, okay? And this is something that's been a really big part of my journey and my evolution and my expansion, especially in the past year, is like discovering what this energy is for me and how it expresses. Because I was raised in a time where so many people, and you may resonate with this, the women in my life were deeply disconnected from their wombs and from the feminine frequency because they were raised and were programmed in a time where women needed to act like men to be successful in the matrix. Okay. And that's it was coded into my body. It was coded into my mind. Like, this is how you're successful. This is how you do things, blah, 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 blah. And so it's been really this journey and this discovery of, okay, what is the oracle? What is this feminine frequency? All of this stuff. And it's this feminine essence of knowing. The feminine essence of knowing that is something is being birthed through you, okay? And you allow it to be birthed through you. And the mind doesn't like the mystery, doesn't like the unknown, doesn't, it's not going to be logical. The oracle is magical. It's not logical. And what we get to do is we get to receive the magic from the oracle within. You get to, I get to. And then when you receive the magic, the mind and the masculine is what carries it out, right? So this is an example of that, right? I received all these codes from my oracle, and what am I doing now? I'm taking action on them. I am making it tangible. I am making it tactical. I also received a lot of codes about my business model. I also received a lot of codes about what I get to be doing moving forward. I received a lot of codes about all the places I'm meant to travel and be activated on the globe. And I'm starting to really understand, okay, why I left Maui when, to be honest, I really didn't want to in a lot of ways. And yet I knew it was correct. And so that's trusting the oracle. That's trusting the intuition. That's trusting the guidance. That's trusting spirit, right? Especially when it doesn't make sense. So that's the biggest thing, is that this oracle lives within you. You have your own oracle. You have your own connection to spirit. You have your own connection to other timelines. Like, I'm very connected to Lemuria, the Pleiades, obviously the goddess Hathor, which I didn't really understand. I still don't fully understand it with my mind, but my body knows that it's truth. This is the feminine essence of knowing. And it comes through the portal of your body, and you have it too. And this is your most important thing to access, to build a relationship with, to trust, to know in your spiritual path and in making a world we're proud of. A better world is not going to be made through the mind. A better world is not going to be through this linear thought, through this patriarchy thought, through the matrix, through all of these systems that are designed to oppress us. It's going to be from the oracle, where the feminine oracle, the magic comes first. And then after that, we use the mind and we use the structures to make the magic of the oracle real. Okay. And so what I want to teach you and to share with you today is that you are an oracle, and everyone has it. Everyone is born with this intuition. Everyone is born with this clean, clear connection to spirit as the oracle, as the channel. And what happens is, in our lived experience and with the dark forces, we are purposely disconnected from this oracle, from your intuition. A lot of people say through intuition and spiritual gifts. This is just like things you can't see. It's a connection to the unseen realm, right? It's a magic. It's synchronicities. I thought of this person and literally 2 seconds later, they called me. That's what this is, okay? I'm about to get a more woo-woo than I ever have on this podcast. So buckle up, fam. Everyone has intuition. Everyone is an oracle. And the thing is, it's a skill that must be cultivated, practiced, and honed. All right. Just like everyone has the ability to lift weights. You're not going to be able to lift weights if you don't train. Your muscles aren't going to be strong enough. Your muscles are going to atrophy. That's what happens when you don't use a muscle, is it atrophies. It gets weak. Okay. It deteriorates. This is what happens when you don't use your intuition, is it deteriorates. And so it's something you must consistently be honing and using. It's a skill, right? Just because I have all these connections to other realms doesn't mean I'm automatically good at connecting. Doesn't mean I'm automatically good at energetic hygiene in those realms. Doesn't mean I'm automatically good at, any of the skill sets that are required in me accessing it consistently, clearly, and courageously, and taking action on it, right? So before we go into, I have a long list of that I just channeled. It all came blurting out. It came blurting out my channel. Like I was about to sit down and record this, and I just started writing and writing and writing and writing and writing in the notebook. And I was like, oh, wow, like this is a very, very big deal. Before we get into that, I want you to think about one of the biggest parts about trusting your spiritual gifts and opening your oracle, because no matter where you are in your spiritual path, whether you feel like your oracle is wide open and you're like, yes, I am so open to spirit. I talk to spirit all day, every day, and I receive downloads. Or you're like, I don't even know what that means. Like, how do I do that? Or you feel like you're maybe blocked. The biggest thing, no matter where you are in your path, is collecting evidence that it's real. Collecting evidence that it's real, because linear thought and the logical mind and what most people do live, be, create on this planet is not through the oracle. It's through over masculine. Okay. So I want you to think of a time. So having evidence is going to be really powerful for you, not only opening your oracle, but trusting your spiritual gifts. I want you to think of a time in your life, and it might have been when you were a kid or when you're older. A lot of us that are old souls, we are born into this lifetime with a clean, open oracle. And then it gets diluted, it gets distorted, we get cut off from it because, trauma, all of these things that just happen, and we're programmed to not trust it. And, just think about that. Who benefits from us not trusting our intuition? From us not trusting our most ancient essence? The patriarchy, the matrix, forces of darkness, oppressive forces. So I want you to think about a time and feel into your body. This is very body based, okay? A better world is not created in the mind. It is birthed from the truth of the body. And the mind organizes that to make it real. Okay. Think about a time in your life where you just knew something. You just knew something. You knew something was going to happen. You knew something was off. You had a sixth sense about something. You just knew it. And it turned out to be true. I'm having floods and floods and floods of things. Right now, I'm really focusing on when I was a kid. Can be at any time in your life, though. And I want you to keep that in your awareness and know that that is your oracle. Know that that is evidence of your intuition and your oracle, which intuition is just the way that spirit speaks to you. It's the way that your soul speaks to you. It's the way that the truth of life speaks to you. And it's the same as your oracle. So I want you to really anchor in that, yes, that happened. Yes, you knew. And yes, that's real. And no, it doesn't make logical sense. It's not supposed to. It's not logic. It's magic. It's not logic. It's spirit. It's not logic. It is the universe. Okay? So Now I'm really going to get into, okay, you know that you're an oracle, if you know that you have an oracle, if you know that your intuition is your oracle, how on earth do you open it and trust it, right? So the first thing is you acknowledge that it's real. You have at least one piece of evidence that we just found for when you knew something and it turned out, oh, you were right. You were right. Here are some ideas, some very tangible things you can do in your life to open your oracle, open your aperture, open the wattage that you're here to channel, to receive, to act on, to live in deep alignment with and in service of, and then how to trust your spiritual gifts. Because as we move forward in creating a world we're proud of and building a better world, we are going to be called to rely on our spiritual gifts more than ever. Because the structures that are currently at play in our 3D world are going to keep collapsing. All right. We just had Pluto in Capricorn since 2008. Okay. That is 16 years, half of my life, right? And Pluto's going to go back into Capricorn again one more time before we fully enter Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Pluto's the planet of death and rebirth. So it's been a death and rebirth of structure. Capricorn rules structure. All of the structures that don't have our best interest at heart have been collapsing, have been exposed where they're not for the greatest good, where it's been unhealed power dynamics, right? Because Pluto rules power. So the more we move forward as these structures collapse and we build new ones during Pluto and Aquarius, we must rely on our spiritual gifts. We must rely on our oracle. We must rely on the guidance, the messages, the authority from within our soul and from spirit. You'll hear me say time and time again, spirit is the authority in my life. My soul and spirit, that is the authority in my life. And I would venture to say that my soul is a piece of spirit, and so is yours. So how on earth do you open this? And how on earth do you trust it in a world where you're basically told all day, every day that it's not real, to not trust it, right? And I'm looking out my window as I'm recording this, and I'm just looking at this huge forest and all of these flowers, and a butterfly is in front of me on top of a flower, and I just see all of these trees moving in the wind, okay? How can you trust it? Because you can feel it. Here's the thing about wind. You can't see wind. You can feel it. That's intuition. That's the oracle. So the biggest thing that you get to do in service of the oracle and trusting your spiritual gifts is, and spiritual gifts can be anything, but it's your ability to be tapped into this unseen web of support and actively co-create with it all day, every day. That's spiritual gifts. Okay. It can come in all kinds of different forms. Your biggest job is to clear all blocks to this access relentlessly, and make a clean, clear channel for you and for every life you touch. All right. So that's your biggest job. Here are just some very important, tangible ways that you can open your oracle and trust. Trust what you receive. Trust it enough to act on it. Trust it enough to live from it. Trust yourself and spirit. Trusting the unknown. This is all about trusting the unknown, trusting the mystery, trusting the magic over logic. Right? So the biggest thing, nervous system reset. So the oracle comes through the body, intuition comes through the body, not through the mind. And people who are operating in their mind are operating from a nervous system that is running from trauma from this life, past lives, or your bloodline that has not been, not, people are talking about, oh, you got to regulate your nervous system. Regulating your nervous system is the bare minimum, just getting you back to just like grounded state. It's not healing things, it's not going to the root of things, it's not purging things, it's not resetting things. It's just getting you out of panic back to a neutral state. And that is not the soil of greatness and thriving. That is literally the bare minimum. So don't regulate your nervous system, reset it. Reset it. This is what I specialize in with my clients in breath work, is nervous system reset. Because yes, we're doing all these things and there's all this science. And by the way, science is just an explanation for magic that happens way later, right? Just like gravity, they couldn't fully understand it, and yet we knew it was real. And then later they're like, oh, this is what's happening. That's what all of this is, right? So if you haven't reset your nervous system consistently, you will not have access to your oracle, because oracle comes through the body. It comes through a relaxed state of receptivity and creativity and safety. And if you're in a chronic nervous system response where all you're concerned about is survival and danger, you will not have an open oracle. You really won't. This is why breathwork blew the lid off my life in every single way possible. This is also why, just full disclosure, I had so much resistance to breathwork when I was on Maui, because I knew deep down I was unlocking something. I had no idea the wattage of what I was unlocking. And to be honest, it scared me. I was like, what is about to happen if you do breath work consistently here? Right? So it comes through the body, not the mind. That's how you're going to open your oracle, right? You will know your oracle because it will be calm, swift, and grounded. It will be a subtle essence of knowing. It will not be frantic. It will not be like that frantic energy, that panic energy is not your intuition. It's not your oracle. That is fear. That is darkness. Okay? That is the mind taking you on a road trip to hell and back, and maybe a couple more times. Your oracle is calm, swift, and grounded. The oracle is like, this is what gets to happen. We're doing it now. It's very swift and methodical. It's very neutral. All right. It's not this heady, like, energy. It's like, I'm in my body. I'm present. I know exactly what to do, and I do it with precision. I'm methodical. I'm swift. I'm calm. I'm grounded. All right. Your physical health is so deeply connected to your ability to access your oracle. Because if you are filling your body with sugar, if you're not hydrated, if you are not moving your body, like your body is the vessel, your body is the vehicle, right? Your body is the house for your soul in this lifetime. You cannot channel spirit. You cannot receive gifts. You cannot receive what's meant for you, certainly not in its full wattage, if you are not in your vitality. This is so important. If you have brain fog, you're not going to access your oracle. If you are having fatigue because you're putting things in your body that you shouldn't be putting in there, that you already know are bad for you, you're blocking your oracle. Like, this is so important. This is why fasting is such an important part of my spiritual practice and spiritual practices that span all religions, all sacred science, all ancient civilizations, because it connects you to spirit. You decrease the input. Like you don't need to be constantly processing things. You can let things be clear and open for wisdom to arrive, right? Just like in Sacred Saturday. But your physical health is of utmost importance for you to open your oracle, let alone trust what's coming in, right? So having zero input time with you, this is connected to what I was mentioning about the fasting. And right now I'm just sharing my list of like, okay, how do you access this oracle and how do you trust, right? How do you access zero input time with yourself? This means no phone, no music, no podcasts, no talking to someone else, zero outside input time with you. This is why my digital detox Sacred Saturday is so sacred. This is why I made it a ritual and a lifestyle, because this is when I connect to myself and when I connect to spirit and my oracle. If you don't build a relationship with yourself and with silence, you will never access your oracle, let alone open it or trust the gifts coming through for you. All right? Really be you can leverage the times when your subconscious is the most open, which is the early morning and right before bed. That's the time when, when you enter the dream realm and when you go to sleep, you are accessing a different timeline. You're accessing a different frequency. You're accessing a different wave of consciousness. You really are. And a lot of people have messages come through in dreams. I have messages come through in dreams, but more often is the first thing I do in the morning is I get up and I write my morning pages. I write 3 pages of stream of consciousness thought. And so I'm really utilizing this time of the day when my subconscious is open, when I'm not in the cerebral mind, I'm not in my day yet. I'm not in that yang energy, like I'm in this liminal space between sleep and wake. And this is where a lot of potent messages are for you. Same about right before bed. So really, what would it be like just to take 10 minutes right when you wake up and just tune into your oracle? Okay, what messages do you have for me today? What do I know? What am I remembering? What do I sense? And you can do it with writing in a journal. I would recommend that, because when you record things, then you have evidence for them, right? And then later, when you're doubting yourself, as you most naturally will, especially, here's the biggest thing about, well, there's so many big things, but in this process, it's so deeply important to be discerning about who you share with and who you're surrounding yourself with, because 99.9% of people will tell you you're crazy, will tell you it's not real, will tell you all of these things. And surrounding yourself with that kind of person is just another way of blocking your access to your true greatness, because they will cause these little doubts, these little hiccups. It's like, why would you swim upstream and fight being around that when you can just not have that and just focus on honing your gifts and focus on surrounding yourself with people who do get it, who are going to support you and not tell you that you're crazy and that you don't need to explain anything to, right? It's so important to protect this part of you. It's really, really, really important. You've heard the quote, you are the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You become the people that you engage with the most. So really, 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 how can you open your oracle? Do not surround yourself with people that don't believe, that don't live from intuition that aren't at least on the path for this. And, there are things that we can't always control, right? If you have people in your life, which everybody does in some regard, there's certain things you're not going to share with them. And that's really important because that is sacred, that is protected, right? Because with this trust, anytime someone comes up against you and tries to tell you it's not real, it's gonna sneakily erode at your trust. All right? Especially in the beginning. Now, I'm at a place where there's nothing anybody can tell me where I don't believe in my oracle and I don't trust spirit. However, I am a human. And at certain points in the path, you're going to be stronger and more resilient than other points. And so just being very discerning around that. So we have 0 input time with yourself, your physical health, the early mornings and right before bed, accessing the subconscious, movement and nature. Movement and nature automatically puts you in a state of being open to your oracle, just like allowing the spaciousness and allowing the abundance and allowing Mother Earth. Mother Earth is an oracle. So imagine what happens to your oracle when you go to the oracle of creation that is our home, that is Mother Earth. And you move your body. Because again, when you are in your body, not dissociated from your body, when you're in your body, which movement is, you are connecting to your oracle because all of it comes through the body, right? Focusing your mind on the quantum field is very important. So I did a podcast episode about, quantum leap your whole life with this one practice. It was the 5-stage meditation. No, 6-phase meditation. You're focusing your mind on the quantum. You're focusing on the possibilities. You are excited. You're visualizing. You're using your mind to direct your orientation of life to the truth of the oracle, right? Of your oracle, your connection to spirit. Synchronicities and communication. So synchronicities are things that happen. It's called Lila in Sanskrit. It's things that happen that are like, oh, that's like a quote unquote coincidence, right? There's no such thing as a coincidence. It's synchronicities, it's magic, it's you communicating with the other realm. It's you communicating with the magic of life. And let's be real, we are not going to make a better world with just us humans. It's going to be us in deep communion, deep communication, and deep co-creation with this force, with this web, with this universe, with spirit, again and again and again and again, all day long. All right. So trusting the synchronicities and playing the game of communication with spirit. And you can make it really, really fun, but this is how you're going to not only open up your oracle, but you're going to create a lifelong connection and trusting of your spiritual gifts. This is a lifelong relationship. Okay. This trust and this way of life as an oracle. Play a game. Say, okay, spirit, we're going to make rainbows today. And then you're going to start seeing rainbows. And then you're going to be like, you can make up a code with the universe. I have a code with the universe. I have a code. When I see certain numbers, it means this. When I see certain animals, it means this. And just be in that communication all day with spirit, all day, and see what happens. You will start to open up. Your intuition will open up. Your clairaudient, you might be clairvoyant, you might be clairaudient, you might be claircognizant. It's like there's all these different clairs, but really what it is, okay, I'm aware of things that are not in the physical realm, and I'm connected to them, and I know them, and I act from them, and they're true. And I see them proven true again and again and again. So making it a game, have a code with the universe, but the more it works and the more you see it, the more you're going to be like, oh, wow, like I don't want the creation to stop. I want to keep opening up my oracle. I keep trusting because the more evidence I create, the more I trust, the more I trust, the more I trust. And the more you trust, the more you move, the more you move, the more you move. And the more you move, the more that the messages of the oracle become real in your life and the world. Because nothing from the oracle, you and spirit and this divine essence and this divine current and this divine force, none of it becomes real without action in 3D. A lot of people do way too much action in the 3D, and the action is not even from the oracle. It's from something their society told them. It's from all this programming. It's from their trauma acting up. It is all of this. And it's like, we got to interrupt that. That's a bullshit lie story that has gotten us in a place where we really got to shape up, from love. And the way to it is the oracle comes first. And so this is the most important relationship in your life. And it's your relationship with yourself and it's your relationship with spirit. Those are the two most important things. And then that also is your relationship with your soul path. And then you are the common denominator in your life. It's your relationship with everything else. People, places, things. The other thing I want to say that's really important about opening your oracle and trusting your gifts is mentorship. So just like I said, surrounding yourself with the correct people is very, very important. Remember at the beginning of this episode when I said that spiritual gifts are not things that you just have, they're things that you hone. And so when I compare this to my life as a musician, as a classical musician, one of my teachers would say, he said this all the time, he said, hard work beats talent every single time. Hard work beats talent every single time. And so there would be people that were very, very, very talented, like they could naturally do a lot musically, and yet they were lazy, and yet they didn't put in the practice, and yet they didn't work hard. And what happened is someone like me, I had natural gifts, but I also was like, oh, I will never be outworked. I will never be out prepared. I will, I was so devoted to my excellence because, that's part of spirituality is you didn't come here to be mediocre. Part of spirituality is excellence. It is, I'm here to be the best that I can be, and I'm damn committed to that, and I'm devoted, and I'm not gonna not show up, And so having a mentorship to help you hone these gifts is so important. I've had so many incredible mentors on my path, like as a musician, but also like coaches and therapists. But the most important mentors that I've had are my mentors that are deeply, 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 they're either shamans or healers, or they themselves are oracles. A lot of them are, they have businesses, but what are they really? They're oracles, they're guides, they're earth angels, okay? Having mentorship with these people is so important for you strengthening and trusting your gifts and honing and getting better at your gifts. It's so important. It's like if someone wants to learn the piano, why would they sit down at the piano and try and learn it by themselves when they can get a teacher and learn from someone who knows how to play it? They're not telling them what song to play. They're not telling them what notes to play, but they are saying, this is how it works, right? That's what a mentor is. That's what a teacher is. And having a spiritual teacher, a spiritual mentor, spiritual guide is so important as you open your oracle and trust your spiritual gifts. They will validate you. They will show you techniques. They will help you find your sauce. They will support you in the times when it's really, really hard. They will support you in the times when it's really, really amazing. But having a mentor is something I will always have, especially for this. I will always have a spiritual mentor. I will always have a shaman. I will always have a healer. I will always have this because I can always learn from anyone. And, anyone, there's certain people in my life that I'm learning from them, maybe being activated by them. Like I would never go to them for advice because they're not living a way that I respect or aspire to. But surrounding yourself with these sage teachers and entering that relationship with like sacred apprenticeship vibes, like I am here to hone my gifts. I am here to expand my gifts, to trust my gifts, to open my oracle. My business coaches help me open my oracle because I only work with spiritual business coaches. Some of them have straight up gaslit my oracle. All right. That was, and they claimed to be a spiritual channel. This is where discernment comes in really, really big, but your oracle will know. Your oracle will know. Even this one time I hired a coach, first started mindful music, I put all of my savings into this coach. And when I get really real with myself and I think back on that, my oracle and my body knew. My oracle and my body knew that, hey, something's not quite right here. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And my mind overrid my body. My mind was like, this person did A, B, C, D, E. You got to invest big to change your life. All these things. I did not make $1 from that investment. I didn't make $1. But you know what I did? I learned the deepest, deepest lesson about honoring my body. I learned the deepest, deepest investment about sacred sales. And yeah, I can now have this conversation with clients and potential clients. Mentorship is really, really important for not only opening your oracle, but trusting the gifts that come through. So this is all a path to your feminine essence as the authority, as the guiding light, as the opening channel between you and spirit, for you to be the channel and for you to access spirit and to access your soul. And so what I want to wrap this episode up with is this is the key. This is the key to everything you will do, will be, will have, will create for New Earth is the oracle within you, the priestess, the priest, the medium, the one that has the messages, the one that has the prophecies. Like I'm sure you've had visions about your life. I'm sure there's things that I'm sure there are maybe flashes of a past life or just maybe things you don't understand, but things happen and you know them. And maybe you've never talked about it to anyone before, or maybe you talk about it all the time. I don't know. But it's from this essence, this oracle, this place, and honing it and strengthening it and trusting it and building from this that you will truly make your contribution to a better world. And we all will. It's coming from this oracle within us. These are the ancient codes. These are the ancient codes. I'm not going out and reading a book to get my downloads. I'm remembering the codes within me. I'm remembering through the oracle, through spirit. All this shit that came through my channel about Egypt. I didn't plan that. I created the circumstances in my life for my oracle to be open on a daily basis. I had the courage to fall apart and just cry on the earth when I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm going through a major shamanic death right now. I'm going through a major shamanic upgrade, purge. I'm just going to let it purge. And I was letting it purge, and all of this stuff came through. And so this is what's possible for you, my friend, my fellow oracle. And this episode is your invitation to open your oracle and to build trust with your spiritual gifts. Now, I can't tell you what your spiritual gifts are. You might have some idea. I can't tell you without sitting in front of you, without reading your energy and looking at your astrology and helping you open yourself up through breath work. Because here's the thing, like, do I guide people? Do I mentor people? Absolutely. But I guide you in making what's real the truth of your soul. And I guide you to the truth of your soul. That's my job. That's who I am as a projector. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. I've been someone who guides people to their truth, who empowers them to be their best, most audacious, big self, to trust the oracle, the intuition, whatever you want to call it, this essence. It's just finding that and tuning that and living from that as a way you play this game of life that we get to play, that we get to play, that we get to create, that we get to live. I hope this episode served you. It really came from the depths of my soul. I'm speaking from my womb in this episode, and it feels really good. It feels really good to share this with you. It feels really exciting that I get to offer this to you, for you. Yeah, I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm excited to hear all about your oracle. If you want to work with me, if you want to go deeper into this work, first, share this episode with a friend and write a review. This really helps the podcast, and it spreads the message to the correct people that are meant to hear it during this very, very, very important time. And if you're like really resonating with everything I'm sharing and you want to work with me one-on-one, go to the link in the show notes, apply for one-on-one mentorship. Okay, so this is what I do with my clients. I help you open your oracle and trust your gifts. And from there, what? You make dreams. From there, you heal. From there, you level up. From there. But this is the home. This is the bedrock for all of it. So go to the link in the show notes if this is you. Apply for one-on-one mentorship. And if you have questions, you can always email me at adrienne@adrienneschroeder.com. Go out there, trust the oracle, make magic with life, communicate with spirit, do the synchronicities, have zero input time, and just build this lifelong relationship that will sustain you in the endurance for your divine assignment. Go make a stranger smile because it is magical, fun, and charges the whole field. Be the change, be the light, be the real you, be the oracle. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.